Let's introduce our LoRa wireless transmission module today. First, have a look at the appearance. It has two terminal blocks up and down. On the top, it is power terminal block. On the bottom, it is RS485 terminal block. Our LoRa module has two RS485 interfaces. This is the antenna interface. We have two kinds of optional antennas. One is the rod antenna, the other is the sucker antenna. The gain of sucker antenna is greater than that of rod antenna. So today, we use the sucker antenna to make a demonstration. Now let's connect the LoRa module. First, connect the power line. The power supply of this module is AC 85V, negative 265V. The live wire is connected to terminal L. The neutral wire is connected to terminal N. Power line wiring is completed. Then, let's connect the LoRa module to RS485 communication lines. Our LoRa module has two RS-C-BAW interfaces, i.e., RFABE, RFABR. RFABE are mainly used for data transmission and module configuration. RFABR are mainly used for data monitoring. Let's connect RFABE first. This is a RS485 to USB converter. The wire from interface A of the converter is connected to terminal R of LoRa module. The wire from interface B of the converter is connected to terminal B1 of LoRa module. Next, let's install the antenna. Just screw up the sucker antenna. Thus, the wiring of LoRa module is finished. Now we power on the LoRa module. Then hold on the button. Deploy using a pointy pin for 5 seconds. Then release the button when the indicator light of link FAACT is flashing. LoRa module enters the configuration mode. Next, let's introduce how to configure the LoRa module. Double-click to open the configuration software LoRa CFG and select the language. Firstly, select the suitable COM port. The COM port will be automatically recognized by software after the RS485 converter is connected to the computer. At present, the automatic recognized port is COM6. Then select COM6 and click Open. We can configure the parameters of the LoRa module now. First, configure the transmission channel. Its range is 0, approximately 31. We can select any one from the channels. Let's take the channel 10 for an example. The next is the transmission speed. There are 5 options from DR0 to DR5. The transmission range of DR0 is the farthest, while the transmission speed will be relatively slower. The transmission speed of DR5 is the fastest, while the transmission range will be relatively closer. Let's take DR5 for an example. Then let's configure the transmission power. The transmission power can be selected from 0 to 20. Let's select the maximum 120 dB. Next, let's configure the serial parameters, baud rate and parity bits. 1200 到11500. Baud rate range is 1200 approximately 115,200. The common baud rate is 9600. So we set it as 9600. There are 3 types of parity bits. 8N1 refers to 8 data bits. No parity. 1 stop bit. Bar refers to bar data bits. Even parity. ES top bit. Bar. O refers to bar data bits. Odd parity. ES top bit. We usually use 8 data bits. No parity. 1 stop bit. So we set it as 8N1. Click Write after completing all parameters configuration. Then it will display Complete. Click OK. Thus, all the parameters have been written into the LoRa module. We can also click Read to check whether all configured parameters are correct or not. Now the read parameters are what we wrote into just now. Click OK. Click Reset. Fair boot. After completing all settings, then click OK to quit the configuration software. We have just finished the configuration of the LoRa module. Next, we will demonstrate the transmitting and receiving data between the two LoRa modules. Firstly, open 2 serial debugging assistant software, such like Comics. Secondly, select the serial ports. Right-click My Computer, then click Manage. Open the Device Manager, and then click Port to view. As you can see, The recognized serial ports are COM6 and COM7. Open and select the two serial ports, Colorado M6 and COM the 7th of September, accurately. Baud rate, data bits, parity bit, and stop bit should be in conformity with the setting values of LoRa module. As we set the baud rate of LoRa module as 9600 just now, so we choose 9600 in this software. Choose 8 for data bits. Choose none for parity digits. Choose 1 for stop bits. The parameter configuration of the other serial port is the same. After configuration, click Open Ports separately. Next, let's take 10 bytes for an example to demonstrate data transmitting and receiving between the two LoRa modules. Enter 10 bytes and click Send. As you can see, almost simultaneously, the other serial port received the same 10 bytes which we have sent. Next, let's demonstrate it on the other serial port. Enter 10 bytes and click Send. On the other serial port, it immediately receives exactly the same 10 bytes with what we have sent as well.